Fun, 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 fun. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Ooh, Nelly. Are you kidding me? What? Wow. Huh. Huh. Okay. There we go. Wow. Alrighty. So what we have here, there we go. All right. Now we're live streaming. And can I get the system to pull in the current video? I cannot. Okay. Good thing there are going to be clips later. We don't have time. All right. It's one of those nights. All right. Now, let's try this one more time from the top, shall we? Hello, world. My name is Don, and you're watching Showcase for the week ending Sunday, July 31, 2022. This is our Friday show, and of course, that means trailers and your live chat comments. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. Don't forget to hit us in the comments feed with your feedback and hit that like button and subscription bell. If you do choose to comment, get ready. I might read it off on the air. So let's go ahead and get started after a slight technical delay, which we're trying to recover from right now. I think we're good right now. Let's go ahead and get started with the first order of business from San Diego Comic-Con. Most of these are from San Diego Comic-Con last week. Let's go ahead and get started with the first order of business, which is from Marvel Studios. Here is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
No woman, no cry. No woman, no cry. Hey, little darling, don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry. Good friends we are.
The costume, the art direction, the costume design. These movies have always been spot on.
In this great future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I said.
Wow, talk about water birth. That's so good.
Everything's gonna be alright. Everything's gonna be alright now. Everything's gonna be alright.
That's Riri Williams from Ironheart.
I am queen of the most powerful nation in the world, and my entire family is gone. Have I not given everything?
Man. Okay, that was something. That was something, people. This is one of those things that it's weird to realize that, you know, what this movie kind of represents and what it has to be. You know, it's been done to death, this whole thing about, you know, it's difficult to imagine doing this franchise without Chadwick. We've been wondering for 2 years now what a follow-up or what any involvement of Wakanda in anything in the MCU was going to look like. Just the tone of what that corner of the MCU is going to look like in the wake of losing Chadwick in August of 2020. And this is our first serious taste of it, and it did everything that it was supposed to do in terms of, first and foremost, reminding people that this is still happening. Wakanda still exists. We haven't forgotten about this movie. We haven't forgotten about there are still stories left to be told, and we have not and will not and cannot forget about the legacy that Chadwick helped build with the first film. Just talking about the context of Marvel here. So I'm proud of them. I'm proud of Coogler and Joe Robert Cole and the whole production staff. Obviously all the actors that came back for this, just everybody that wound up being involved in this production. I'm really proud to see that. I'm proud of them. I'm proud to see that they actually stuck the landing here, at the very least with this trailer. I'm really looking forward to this movie, and it really this is a very strong start to the show here. I probably should have saved this one for last. But there you go. That was Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, an amazing, amazing start to our trailer show tonight. Let me see. We have a comment. Stab ZX says, to be honest, I think they should have recast T'Challa. Ooh, controversial opinion. I know they want to respect the actor, which is beautiful, but there are so many stories left to tell for the character. Don't forget, there are also plenty of other people left as far as the, I guess, Wakandan roster, for lack of a better way to put it, that can still help tell that story in a different way. And if there's one thing that the MCU has proven itself time and again to love the opportunity to do, it's tell familiar stories in relatively unpredictable ways, especially if your frame of reference is the comics. All they've been doing since 2008 is paraphrasing stuff from the comics and doing them in a different way or in a completely different order. Don't forget, in the comics, Civil War was supposed to happen after Infinity War. But when it came time to do the movies, they did Civil War before Infinity War. And Kevin Feige had this whole rationale behind why he chose to do that, but that's another conversation. Anyway, this is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is hitting theaters on November 11 of this year. So let's go ahead and move on. Oh, Steph ZX, once again, overall, it's a beautiful trailer, has Avatar vibes. Absolutely, absolutely. Let's see, moving on to the next item on the docket here, which is from the world of DC. This is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Again, another thing from San Diego Comic-Con. We're sort of alternating back and forth, Marvel, DC, these first four. Here's Shazam 2. Oh, sorry, I forgot to unmute the thing here. All right, here we go.
I'm an idiot.
It's showtime!
I don't deserve these powers, if I'm being honest. Like, what am I even contributing? Ow! There's already a superhero with a red suit with a lightning bolt on it. Aquaman is literally huge.
Notice they can't show Ezra Miller's face.
And Batman is so cool. And I'm just me. I feel like a fraud. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the wizard gave me superpowers. And then everybody got superpowers. Where's everyone going?
To fight crime?
Okay.
Now everyone's kind of like doing their own thing, and I'm the only one trying to keep it together.
You understand I'm a pediatrician, right?
Come on!
I saw a thing, the doll from Annabelle. I saw a thing, an article that was a photograph. I thought it was Photoshop. I didn't know that was a real thing. And when you put Annabelle,
Children's
I thought they were trolling.
power of all the gods. This is very personal.
Asher grew up.
Look, I might not have as much experience as you because I'm not super old like you, but I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about family. Family! Guys, that was a signal.
Introducing the star of our show, his
Beautiful effects there.
Your world will not survive this.
I don't know how we fight powers like this.
Ooh.
I think I know how to fix this dude, but I really don't.
Everyone can be worthy. Let's give it a chance. Now go fight for your family. Go fight for the world.
I just threw a truck at a dragon. I love my life.
Yeah, this trailer begs replaying. This trailer really begs replaying, man. That's just fun footage. That's just fun to watch. I gotta be honest with y'all. This is just a fun trailer to watch, man. There's just no other way to put it. They've clearly done a lot of upgrades as far as basically picking up where they left off at the end of the first film, and just, I mean, it's clear what they've done, what they did at the end of the first at the end of the first movie. It's pointless to really sort of hide spoilers from the first film. The biggest thing that they introduced was the idea of the other main kid cast members. They have Shazam abilities too, obviously. Like, this trailer just makes no apologies. Yeah, no, that happened. And if you want to see how it happened, you got to watch the first film on HBO Max. But anyway, I'm curious to see how they incorporate the rest of Shazam's corner of the DCE, or well, the DC mythology, now that they've really sort of opened up the floodgates to a lot of the elements of that mythology that were sort of alluded to, especially in the Diamond Hunsu section, the section at the beginning of the first film where he's conveying a sort of cliff notes of the history of himself, basically, and where he comes from, and what happened with the last person who was chosen to be champion, who we're going to meet in October, Black Adam, right? This is and it's going to be really interesting seeing how the Shazam franchise sort of interacts with Black Adam. But I'll get back to that in a moment once we get to the Black Adam trailer. For now, I'm going to go ahead and give this a thumbs up as well. Shazam gets another thumbs up as well, and I'm really looking forward to that movie when that comes out on December 21st, I believe it is. Yep, December 21st of this year is when this movie is going to be dropping directly into theaters, unless somebody at HBO Max chooses to advocate in the name of the fans. I don't think that's going to happen, but anyway, still probably going to see this in theaters either way, as this is one of those movies, just the scope and scale of it, you pretty much have to see it in theaters anyway. So there you go. That was Shazam! Theory of the Gods. Let's move on back over to the Marvel side of things. Once again, we're doing live trailer reactions here on YouTube. Thanks so much for tuning in. Those of you who are with me live, feel free to drop a comment in the live chat, and I might happen to read it off on the air and immortalize it in this footage that we're recording tonight. Like Staff ZX over here, who says, it looks awesome, but my biggest concern is the child actors. Wonder if they'll eventually age out and actually play the heroes like Mary Marvel. Yeah, so that's that he's talking about. Again, he's talking about Shazam. That's a reference to one of the characters in the main group of kids who was recast, because in the first movie she was already the oldest of the group. So I guess enough time has passed. The first movie came out in 2019. So I guess enough time has passed where they figure, okay, just have the actress who plays her in like adult Shazam form, just do double duty and, play her in like Clark Kent mode, basically, and just sort of work with that. Which is a smart casting decision, but then that also begs the question of at what point does that sort of happen with the others? Like Asher Angel, I think is his name, the kid who's Billy Batson, right? He's growing up here. Like, at what point does he sort of have to retire from the role, and then Zachary Levi or Levi, I guess I think is how he pronounces his last name, he takes over in that role double duty as well. I mean, if that really is suggesting the framework for how this franchise is going to treat those characters as the young actors age up into adulthood, I guess that just means Megan Good has job security, because her plainclothes form is the youngest of the group. So I guess, well, actually, not just her, mainly the actress who plays the child form, the regular plainclothes form of her, has the most job security of everybody on that roster. basically. But anyway, let's move on. Next item is from Marvel. Like I was saying, here's the final, what's probably going to be the final trailer for She-Hulk, which is coming to Disney Plus next month, actually in only like a few weeks or so, like 18, 19 days or so from now. So let's take a look. Here's She-Hulk from Disney Plus.
Wow! Jesus, what the hell, man?
Still in control, no overwhelming feelings of rage.
No, a normal amount of rage.
You do revert back to Gen form when you sleep.
Tatiana
Is
does
the
that
air
voice
horn
really well.
really necessary?
For comedy, absolutely. This is a multi-year journey you're about to embark on. Yeah. Who's your best friend?
Nikki.
Spandex. Spandex is your best friend. Being a
He's not
Hulk
wrong, though.
asks for balance. You have so much more to learn. Yes!
So I'm clearly nailing it at all these names.
You want to go back to life as a lawyer, I respect that.
He doesn't mean that.
Fourth wall. Hi, fourth wall.
More and more eccentric superhumans are coming out of the woodwork. We're going to launch a division for them. And I want the She-Hulk to be the face of it.
Jennifer Waters. Namaste.
I have a serious conflict of interest. This man tried to kill my cousin, Bruce.
Yeah, that's quite all right.
Oh.
People only care because I'm representing Emil Blonsky. I think they care because they're like, hey, that girl's green.
All right, Jamila.
God, I really like this outfit. I'm not proud of this.
This world does we answer to a higher power. Our universe is on the
This
edge
guy's been
of a
steadily
precipice.
blowing his hair out at this point.
I am a lawyer.
We do things by the book.
Book of Ashanti.
No, the book of American laws.
What brand of hair gel does belong to you?
Whether you
That's what I
like it
wanna
or
know.
not, you're now a superhero.
Let's do this.
You know that friend you had in high school? Who was way cooler than you were attractive.
Yep.
Got
Yep,
all
by
the
Snoo
attention
Snoo.
from everyone.
Hello.
I think I'm jealous. Is that what I'm feeling?
And that is Daredevil. Recognize those bow staffs anywhere. Or those little, like, not bow staffs. I don't remember what exactly those things are called. Those little, like, mini staffs that he likes to use when in crime fighting mode. But anyway, this is an interesting trailer for multiple reasons. Basically, the biggest reason of all, actually, in my opinion, has nothing to do with She-Hulk at all. It as a character, and it has to do with continuity of casting. You may recall that a few months ago, William Hurt passed away, and he famously did Thunderbolt Ross, General Ross, in the 2008 Incredible Hulk movie, and he came back in Civil War, and then in the Black Widow movie briefly. So he passed away, and then that means that bringing back Tim Roth here, like full blown, not just like dropping a name like what was done during Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. way back in the day, but actually bringing back Tim Roth completely into the fold, that makes him basically the last surviving person of like the quote unquote Hulk corner of the MCU, basically, because Edward Norton was famously recast in 2012. That's how we got Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, right? And as I said, William Hurt passed away. Liv Tyler hasn't done jack in the MCU since that movie. I don't know if they're ever going to do anything with her ever again. Depending on what Marvel's plans are with that character, with Hulk in particular, or Banner more specifically. Smart Money says they're not. But I mean, I I'm open to being disproven. Like my money says that they're not, and they're just gonna let that character go, which is a really sad waste, frankly, because I mean, come on, Betty Ross is kind of key to, Bruce Banner's whole like emotional dynamic, basically. Like that's his primary love interest, But I guess, especially ever since Ragnarok, Marvel Studios have chosen to go in a slightly less will they, won't they kind of dynamic, or can they, can't they, I guess, sort of is the better way to describe that particular dynamic. Let's see. Here's okay, we have some comments here. StabZX says she doesn't sound remotely like Cree Summer, LOL. Yeah, that's true. He's obviously talking about the Agents of, what was it, Hulk and the Agents of Smash, the animated series that used to run on Disney XD. I think Disney Plus has all the episodes of that now. Cree Summer used to do the voice for She-Hulk in that. Wait, no, I'm sorry. Cree Summer, I think she may have done that voice for Superhero Squad Show. I think it was Superhero Squad Show that she did that. For Agents of Smash, if I remember right, that might have been oh goodness, what's her name? Faith from Buffy. Oh my goodness, why am I spacing on this name? I can see her face. Eliza Dushku, if I'm not mistaken, was the voice of She-Hulk in Hulk and the Agents of Smash. But anyway, so, and StabZX also says, I was about to mention that wasn't he Red Hulk? It wasn't his daughter Red She-Hulk. If memory serves, this would have been a good show to introduce them. Yeah, again, talking about where Thunderbolt Ross and Betty Ross wound up going in terms of the comics, they become Hulk variants unto themselves. Obviously, Red Hulk is out of the question, but Red She-Hulk is still theoretically on the table. They never killed off Betty Ross. They never produced a body. I don't know. Let's see. It's ambiguous if the Incredible Hulk is canon with the MCU. You can argue that it is. In Avengers 2012, Ruffalo has a line about how this one time, the last time he went to New York, he basically broke Harlem. That is a clear reference to the Hulk versus Abomination fight at the end of Hulk 2008. So at least on that level, it's acknowledged. And in the sense of, if being acknowledged is all you need to do in order to have previous events be established as canon, if that's the case, then yeah, it's canon. Hulk 2008 is still canon, so long as Ruffalo is around. But the old Hulk cartoon from the 90s. Oh yeah. The one where Cree Summer did the voice of She-Hulk. Yeah, I remember that now. Then who did the Superhero Squad show? I don't need to look that up in Google. Or StaffZX, if you want to go ahead and help me out and post an answer in the comments feed, feel free, because I got to move on. But anyway, this is an awesome trailer. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad we only have to wait 3 more weeks, because I've been actually anticipating this for a long time, mainly because I'm curious to see to what degree, how far are they going to push the envelope in terms of being able to play around with the fourth wall, which is something that no Marvel Studios production has done before. Yes, we've seen elements of this with the Deadpool movies, but those were not Marvel Studios, basically. That was, the last days of Fox before they got absorbed into Disney. We're going to get that again with Deadpool 3 when that happens. But we're getting, I guess, an early taste of how Marvel Studios is going to take fourth wall breaching characters, how they're going to treat that anyway, once this show comes out. So that's definitely going to be something to pay attention to, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's a thumbs up to She-Hulk right there, which is hitting Disney Plus on August 17, apparently. So there you go. Let's move on to the next item on the list, which is back in the realm of DC. This is Black Adam, which this is the other main character that's DC, that's in the realm of DC, that's Shazam adjacent. And this is one to watch out for. I'm really curious to see, especially in terms of post-credit scenes once that movie comes out, because if I remember right, the release date's Black Adam's going to drop in October, and then Shazam 2 drops 2 months later. So if they're going to do an actual straight up post-credit scene, which is something that is almost never done in terms of DCEU movies, if they're going to do that, this is their chance to do that. They pretty much have to with Black Adam because of how like intrinsically tied in with each other Adam and Shazam are in terms of the comics. So we'll see how the movies treat it, especially considering Dwayne Johnson is also a credited EP on the Shazam films. So he's got his hands in both cookie jars. Anyway, here's the Comic-Con sneak peek from Black Adam.
My powers are not a gift, but a curse. Born out of rage.
Yeah. Ripping off Iron Man right there. Destroying the arm of a jet. Or the wing of a jet. Goodness.
You believe you are not worthy. But you have two paths.
Ow.
You can be the destroyer of this world. Or you can be its savior.
That last bit with him like in the cloak, that looked like they CGI'd his face onto a model or something. Like onto a CGI, like a character model or whatever. That didn't even look like what green screen wire work. Yeah, they have some serious VFX here, but it's like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's almost like at what point do a movie's VFX capabilities sort of turn from, sorry, man, oh man, come on, hit the wrong button, sorry. Anyway, I was trying to ask, like, at what point do a movie's visual effects capabilities, at what point does it sort of give way to just becoming a cartoon? Just a straight up caricature of itself and what it can be, because it's just too easy for the audience to be able to tell what is CGI versus what is green screen versus what is actually like live action being shot on location somewhere and was done for real, was done practically. You know, it's to the point where the lines have become so blurred, but the technology in some respects hasn't fully caught up to the human eye's ability to perceive what is CGI and what is not. So unless James Cameron is really fixing to change the game again to a degree that justifies that movie's existence, y'all know I'm talking about Avatar 2, when that drops in, I want to say September, maybe November. I don't remember that exact date offhand, but you hear where I'm going with this. Like, CGI in movies, visual effects can only go but so far in terms of believability and plausibility. And the VFX are impressive, but the extent to which they can be impressive is wholly dependent on the audience's ability to suspend their own disbelief because of how convincing the VFX are. If the VFX are not convincing, like, say, the process of removing digitally Henry Cavill's mustache in Justice League, if it's not convincing, you know, if it looks weird or off-putting, no matter how clean it looks, if it just looks weird, we can tell and we'll make fun of you. And that's, I'm sorry, but that's kind of what it is. I don't know. Let's see what people are saying in the comment section really quickly. Let's see. It's ambiguous if the Incredible Hulk is canon with the MCU. Again, he's talking about the 2008 movie. All right. My humble opinion is that that line is enough and it is canon. I don't know where the evidence is that suggests that it's not, especially because William Hurt came back in 2016 and we got that line, like I said, in Avengers 1, but I don't know. All right. Was her name Katie Sackhoff? The one from Smash Bros. Liza Dushku. Yeah, I remember that, right. Then again, they're pretty much live action cartoons by default. Katie Sackhoff, yeah, Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica 2003. And if I remember right, she was also the voice of Bitch Pudding in Robot Chicken. And that that sounds familiar. I think you're correct. That's if that's correct, like, I wouldn't be surprised at that. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all, especially given her work in Robot Chicken. But anyway, back over to Black Adam. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see this movie in terms of what this is really going to bring to the table as far as setting the tone for what the DCEU is going to be like going forward. Especially, like I said, given everything that is on Shazam's shoulders as well to sort of carry the franchise forward, and especially given the torrent of controversy and issues surrounding the Flash and Aquaman 2 productions for reasons I won't get into here. It's just morbid curiosity, frankly, and that's kind of different from anticipation. I'm gonna give Black Adam a side thumb It's not a thumbs down, it's a side thumb. Because like I'm anticipating it, but I'm not anticipating it for this trailer. I'm anticipating it because of other things that I know are within the realm of the DCEU, and that's the wrong reason to be hyped for something. I know within myself that's the wrong reason to be hyped for something. You know, it's I want so much more from this. You know, I want so much more because I know how much Dwayne poured his like, you know, blood, sweat, and tears and heart into this. As evidence, as anyone who follows him on Instagram will tell you in a heartbeat. Instagram or Twitter, you know, y'all have seen all those updates and stuff like that for the last few years now. You know this is a big passion project. But anyway, Stats EX saying, personally, I've never been a fan of CGI. Even today, you can tell it's off. It's just easier to produce films today with CGI, which is why it's used so much. Yeah, that's a clear and honest explanation for the ubiquitousness of CGI, but what are you going to do, I suppose? Anyway, let's move on. Next item is John Wick 4. This is something that, oh man, this is going to be a mess. Let's see. Oh, we have another comment from staff. Wonder why we got no Flash or Aquaman 2 this year. LOL, just JK. Yeah. They got controversies. We got to move on. We can't be talking about that. You know that. Anyway, here's John Wick 4 from Lionsgate. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention Black Adam hits October 21st. I forgot to mention Black Adam hits theaters on October 21st. Here's John Wick 4, which is hitting in March of 2023.
Have you given any thought to where this ends? The table will never stop. You know this.
Lance Reddick is always awesome.
No one. Not even you.
Ooh, close quarters. At that range, why don't you just, I don't know, stab him with the arrow? I don't understand. Are they deflecting bullets with the sword? Are we sure this isn't Deadpool 3? Because we literally saw him do this in X-Men Origins. Uh-oh, 5 feet away. I don't get it. Like, what is... Are you saying that the title of this movie is literally John Wick? We're not calling it John Wick 4? And what is that? What is that last thing? I couldn't tell if he was like sort of like chopping somebody's head at an angle, but like so quickly that like the pieces hadn't fallen off, or if that is what's going to be in the movie and they had to censor it in order to avoid making this a red band trailer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's bizarre to me, quite frankly. But anyway, this is a thrilling trailer. I will grant them that. This is clearly there's clearly a lot of really good trailer shots in here in terms of really conveying that they haven't lost a beat since Parabellum. A lot of really fast-paced, frenetic action in close quarters, especially. That I'm still wowed by that like close range, like Archer pinning somebody down with a fully drawn bow. It's like, why are you even doing that at that point? I don't know, but this is, I'll be honest, I didn't see the third film, but I'm curious where they're going to go with this after the first and second film. I saw bits and pieces of 2, but this is actually motivating me to go in and watch the third film. But this is, it's interesting to see that they're actually like trying to push this franchise forward. If I remember right, we're also going to get a spin-off television series as well, not around the Keanu character. There's I'm trying to remember if there's a training room with like other of assassins that the show would center around, almost not unlike what they tried to do with what was it, Treadstone, the Jason Bourne spinoff TV show that was on the USA Network for a hot minute a few years back. I imagine it would be sort of at, I guess, tonally similar to that, except sort of from the standpoint of before they actually start going on missions. On Treadstone, they actually were going on missions, if memory serves. So that's basically where that is coming from. But anyway, so I'm going to give a thumbs up here for now. We'll see what happens with the next round of footage, because we're going to get one more trailer between now and March when this thing actually does drop. So we'll have to keep our ear to the ground on that. Hopefully they don't fumble the ball here like with Matrix Resurrections, which is all we're going to say about that. So anyway, moving on. We have a season 2 teaser trailer for Chucky. I was very pleasantly surprised by this because television series adaptations of horror films in particular, they tend to not really work out very well. Hang on a second. Sorry, I got a weird notification on my phone. So yeah, there was a Friday the 13th television series that wasn't all that great. There was a Nightmare on Elm Street TV series that, if I remember right, wasn't all that great. You can make arguments about, goodness, I'm trying to think. Do I count Tales from the Crypt? Because that show had a movie after the television series kind of found their footing. Same with Twilight Zone. There was a Twilight Zone movie, and then Jordan Peele famously rebooted Twilight Zone on, I'm trying to remember if it was, I think it was Apple TV Plus when Jordan Peele's version was being done. But one second. Oh, darn it. I'm getting notifications from Raina. She's actually trying to connect into this right now, and the Zoom program won't let her do the mic. So there's gonna be some sound issues with her. That might be a problem. I'll have to get with her on that and try to get some reactions from her at a later time. Hopefully after this wraps, we can go ahead and do that. Yeah. I'll get with you after it's okay. There we go. Okay. So anyway, moving on. So this is, let's see. Oh, here we go. We have another comment here. Tales from the Dark Side was a good show that made a good film. I actually never saw that. Tales from the Dark Side. I might have to look into that. Hopefully there's a platform other than like, I don't know, premium Vudu or premium YouTube or whatever that you have to pay for individual episodes for to actually be able to stream the show properly. I'll take that recommendation into account. Thanks for the heads up there. Anyway, so last year, Chucky was this was a spinoff of the spinoff / sequel, if you will, to the Child's Play franchise, which is 7 movies deep, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, this show had absolutely everything to prove, simply because there was such precedent for television series adaptations of horror films being basically terrible for the most part. And the ratings were amazing. The reviews were amazing. And I liked it. And there were a lot of familiar faces from the films that came back as well. So apparently we're getting another season, and apparently now we have a trailer. So let's take a look at the first teaser for season 2 of Chucky, which is coming to USA and the Sci-Fi Network concurrently, which is another broadcast method that was used last season, doing the simulcasting on both networks. That's really rare. Universal Comcast wants to really put a lot of weight behind promoting this show to put it on both networks like that. Anyway, here's Chucky.
Whatever happened to Chucky?
Jacob, where the hell are you? You're the only one I can talk to about what really happened.
It's been a really tough year.
Are you
Tiffany's back.
as happy as you made me?
Nika's back.
Who is this? And why the hell are you calling?
To make sure you're home.
Miss Cross, Mr. Evans, and Mr. Wheeler. Do you know why you're here? I know your history. It's just a doll.
Sure it is.
When do we get to start stabbing people?
No matter what, he's gonna come for us again.
Oh, I hate that doll.
I need Tiffany to get what's coming to her.
Glenda, come to Mama.
Let go.
Dear sweet godmother of Hail Mary, Jesus.
This is for Kyle! No!
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna pray?
Okay, that's funny. That's funny.
Just looking at me is scary enough to give you a heart attack? Oh my God, thank you.
Yeah, that's practical puppetry at its best right there, really. Really. I mean, that's one of those things that this is one of those productions that they could have easily just gone the other way with and just straight CGI'd it. But you can tell. See, here's the thing. This is one of those things where you can tell that they went out of their way to make practical effects work well. And that's one of those things that is just so rarely done in terms of the industry, frankly. You know, anytime, to Staff ZX's point earlier, like anytime it's more economical to use a bunch of crazy CGI instead of doing things practically, they will, especially if it's cheaper to do so. It's hard and usually expensive to do things like puppetry, prosthetics, you know, stop motion animation, things like that. It's really tedious work. There have been a lot of advancements in that field in recent years, in recent decades, and this show is no better. Is like the best possible, at least in my opinion, anyway, the best possible example of how true that is. Because just the way that they did film quality puppetry and practical effects in season 1 alone, it really advanced far, and I was really impressed by that, almost as much as the way that they handled the storytelling over the course of that season. It was really an experience. It felt like a whole Child's Play movie, just basically spread out over the course of a season, which was pretty much Mancini's intent. Don Mancini, the creator of the franchise, co-creator, I guess it would be, between him and David Kirshner, I believe is the other guy. But anyway, this is it's reassuring to see that they're actually that USA and Sci-Fi are really moving forward with this, and they seem to be doing this in the right way. They're going all in, and I'm really hyped for it. I'm going to give Chucky a thumbs up. And October 5, it looks like, is when that's going to be dropping on the USA Network and on the Sci-Fi channel concurrently. So that's that, and we have 6 left. Let's see, 20 minutes to go before the top of the hour. Oh man, come on. There we go. We have another comment here. To be honest, the series should have ended at Child's Play 3. The rest of the series went downhill. I like season 1, but he's so different now. Yeah, that's true. And, you know, there are ways in which to utilize that differentness about the characterization of Chucky that don't feel like an actual sort of like disservice to the character, disservice to the gist of the character, change for change's sake. Again, audiences can pick up on that sort of cop out. And it's not a thing that at least I personally see or have detected that they've done here. Should they have done an 8th movie? Or rephrase, should Mancini and Kirshner have done an 8th movie? Because we did get that one movie with Mark Hamill voicing Chucky instead of Brad Dourif. That movie was not very well received. Arguably, that's because the creators weren't behind it. They had nothing. Mancini and Kirshner had nothing to do with that movie, the Aubrey Plaza one. You can make the argument that that's a big part of why that movie didn't do well, and why this series version is doing so much better in comparison. I'm inclined to agree with that. I mean, here we are, basically. You know, I would just say go along for the ride, man. You know, pretty much. It could easily be worse, you know, and if the if the series had turned out of the same quality level as the Mark Hamill movie, it could have, but it didn't. So especially fans of the franchise should probably continue like counting their lucky stars that it didn't turn out worse, and the franchise can actually move forward, and the network wants to continue throwing resources behind it. You know, it could have easily gone the other way. Easily. Again, horror adaptation for television. I mean, just saying. Anyway, let's move on. This is a teaser from Paramount Plus for a project called Transformers Earthspark. Once again, we're doing a series of live trailer reactions right here on YouTube. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit the subscription button and the notification bell if you haven't already. And drop us a comment in the live feed. Come on, like, you can't leave Staff by his lonesome there. Staff ZX, excuse me, by his lonesome in the comment feed. Feel free to drop a line and I might read it off on the air. We can get a discussion going. So let's move on. Here's Transformers Earthspark, which looks to be another animated series adaptation of the Transformers franchise that will not die. I've lost count of how many different animated interpretations of Transformers have wound up hitting our small screens ever since that first Michael Bay film hit in 2007. I've lost count, quite frankly, after like I think 4. I think there have been at least 4 in the last 14 years, 15 years since that first movie dropped in the summer of 07. Let's see what this one has. Going to Paramount Plus. Here's Transformers Earthspark.
You think anyone's ever been down here before?
Whoa. Somebody had to leave that.
What's happening? Robbie! What are they? No way! You're a Transformer!
Okay, wait, what?
Bumblebee, I have a new mission. Train our youngest members.
Transforming is easy. It's literally our name.
The first of Cybertron mankind to be part of our world. And this one, I can think of no better human protectors than you and your family.
Optimus always sees the bright side, even when there isn't one.
Arachnidex, tear them limb from limb. Stand down, mad droid.
Bumblebee?
I'm not leaving until you're safe.
Transformers Earthspark. Stream with your family this fall.
That's funny. That last little split second of Prime's windshield wipers on his chest. You never see those things get used. That's crazy. I will give them props for that one little gag, but I mean, I got to reiterate what I was saying at the beginning. Do we need another Transformers show? I feel like this whole thing has become oversaturated. This brand has become oversaturated. You know, it's almost, at this point, it's almost Star Trek in terms of oversaturation, properties that are oversaturated, making their way to Paramount Plus under the auspices of something new and family oriented. I mean, what? Why? Like, I don't know why we need this. I really don't understand. I really don't understand why we need this. You know, it's I liked the movies, but not enough to need all these different cartoons to sort of tide me over in between the movies. Like, can we pick a lane with this franchise? You know, are we a cartoon or are we a live action franchise? The live action franchise hasn't done jack since probably, I'm trying to remember, when did Bumblebee come out again? 2018, 2019? I want to say maybe 2019. And like, that was a fantastic movie. Like, it was an attempt at basically a reboot of the franchise from the standpoint of obviously B instead of like Prime, which is basically where all the other movies were oriented around, basically. All right, you can make an argument for Bumblebee as well, like especially with the Shia LaBeouf movies. But like, I don't know. I'm giving this a thumbs down just on principle. Like, this franchise is too ubiquitous at this point. I mean, can we wrap this story up and sort of put it to bed for a little while? You know, I don't know who this is really meant for, other than clearly little kids who by this point either they have seen all the movies and they're completely familiar with everything anyway already, or you know, they haven't, and they have all the other movies and cartoons are available on all these different streaming platforms anyway. You have all that footage already out there anyway. So I don't know why it needs to be perpetually re-updated. This is a no-go for me. Transformers Earthspark gets a thumbs down from me. But for what it's worth, fall 22, I guess, is the release date for this particular project for those who are that diehard into the franchise. I guess there you go. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, Chucky. The release date for Chucky was October 5. I'm not sure if I managed to point that out, but the release date for Chucky on USA Network and Sci-Fi is hitting on October 5. So there you go. Let's move on. We have 5 left to go before the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and start off with Pearl. I'm not sure what this is, some sort of origin story of some kind. The subtitle here is An Extraordinary Origin Story in really tiny print on the thumbnail. I don't know if y'all can read that. Probably not, but apparently this is a thing that's about to come out. So let's take a look at the trailer. Here is Pearl. Okay. We got it. Extraordinary origin story. Yet to see how, but all right, you got your branding down.
Make me the biggest star the world has ever known, so that I may get far, far away from this place.
Well, caring for your family during these times is admirable. But you only get one take at this life.
If only they would just die.
Pardon?
Nothing. I want to be special, dancing up on the screen like the pretty girls in the pictures.
I will not let you leave.
I feel like this girl is going to grow into the Charlize Theron character from Monster. Remember the movie Monster?
I'm worried there may be something real wrong with me. Rumor has it they only take one gal per town.
We're looking for someone with X Factor.
Has to be me.
How about a film nobody else has seen?
Is it legal?
Will be eventually.
I know what I've done. Bad things. Terrible, awful, murderous things. I want to be loved from as many people as possible. But truth is, I'm not really a good person.
So that was disturbing. That was kind of disturbing. I'm not really sure what to make of this. It's I mean, the thumbnail makes her look like Lorena Bobbitt, you know, but I don't know. I'm just gonna that movie, something about that movie and the way that they're portraying what looks like some sort of horror story sort of thing. It really sort of like irks me to the point where I gotta give it a thumbs down. I gotta give this a thumbs down. I don't have very high expectations of this film, but I don't need. That's a mess. That's a hot mess, people. I don't know what else to say about it, but I mean I'm trying to find something positive about this. I mean, well, cinematography seems good. You know, costume design seems good. Makeup design, but this is. I don't know. Movies like this really kind of like disturb me, you know, on like a human level. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I'm not personally looking forward to it. Thumbs down from me. But if you like movies like Pearl, you can check it out on September 16, which is when that's going to be hitting theaters, presumably somewhere. I don't know. It's not entirely clear where that's going to be releasing, but judging by that trailer. But if you have a chance to check the description down below, the links to all the trailers that we're showing tonight are down there, and there's more information about that in the description if you're so inclined. We have another comment from staff. How many times are we going to have to see Optimus fight Megatron or Galvatron? Again, talking about Transformers or a Spark. Yeah, valid point. Anyway, we've covered Transformers to death now. We got to move on. Pearl's over and done. Let's move on to the next item on the docket. Next up, we have a trailer for a Sylvester Stallone film, it looks like, called Samaritan, which is coming to Prime Video. I guess this is what he was working on instead of Creed 3, which he is not involved in. So I guess we're going to see what happens here and if this justifies Rocky not being a part of the Creed franchise anymore. We'll see. Here's Samaritan from Amazon Prime.
Wait up, wait up. What do you do with all this junk? Keeps me busy.
Nice new graphics for MGM.
Night of crime and violence.
Probably something to do with that fancy merger that they had.
For the city in
Amazon owns MGM now. Whoa!
I think we're finished here. Go on, beat it.
Sly ate his Wheaties that morning.
I found him. Samaritan.
Samaritan died 25 years ago.
That's what they say.
You think you live across from a superhero? Do you have a therapist, kid?
Kid. Samaritan's dead. I pick up garbage for a living, pal.
Samaritan cleans up the streets.
You mind your business, I'll mind mine.
I don't believe you!
Are you okay?
I'm cool.
Wow.
How strong are you?
Not as strong as I once was. Things start to fall apart when you stop caring. And I stopped caring a long time ago.
How come you hate who you are?
For some people, it's too late to change the damage they've done.
He's hiding something. I want him dead.
Really?
Oh.
The things you bury tend to haunt you.
Why did you disappear?
Try this.
Okay. So that was Samaritan from Amazon Prime. You know, I'm actually looking forward to this one. And for the right reasons, actually, I gotta say. I liked a lot of the way that they were portraying the dynamic between Stallone and the little kid. This is very Logan-ish, I gotta say. Like this movie strikes me as basically sort of how Amazon would have done Logan, basically. Like it's fundamentally the same thing. You have a metahuman character who is basically far over the hill, you know, has settled into a private civilian life, basically doesn't want to be bothered. And then sort of this young kid comes along who sort of drags him kicking and screaming into the old life. And now he has to sort of like pick up the weapon again, you know, the adamantium claws or the hammer or whatever the case may be, right? In order to sort of, I don't know, save the day or make amends for something or pursue a cause or protect the child from something, some antagonistic force or a time limit of some kind. You know, something, wherever the pressure is coming from. And when it's done right, we get movies like Logan, you know, and I hope that we don't see this movie do it wrong. I have very high expectations of this movie simply because I've seen Logan, and we can now all be reminded of how amazing Logan is because it just came out at Disney Plus last week. Sorry, Amazon, I gotta say it. But this looks like a good trailer. This looks like a really good trailer. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I was thinking a side thumb at first, but I'm just gonna say a thumbs up for now. And I'm looking forward to this film. I really hope that they like tell a good story here without the expectation of like spinning this off into something else, because like this is the sort of original production that companies like Amazon and Netflix, like they love to sort of keep going into more entries in the franchise. Just basically make a franchise out of it. You know, like we're getting another what is that movie? That Chris Hemsworth movie, Contraband, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, Extraction. Extraction was the name of that movie. I'm sorry. It was the Russo brothers were producing that movie. It was Contraband, and then there's the other thing the Russos put out earlier this year called The Gray Man. Both of those are getting sequels direct to Netflix. And The Gray Man is actually getting a spinoff as well. News broke out about that last week as well. I mean, these things are barely out. Yes, they're good, but it's like, can we tell a good story, you know, a good one-off story without necessarily the expectation for these multi-film sagas and franchises and crossovers and stuff? It feels like everybody's trying to be Marvel Studios to the point where they're trying to bring Marvel Studios people into these stories and into these franchises as though that's all you need to make a crazy multi-billion-dollar franchise. They got the Russos involved, you got Chris Hemsworth involved, you got Chris Evans involved with the Gray Man, right? It's holy crap, right? Like it feels like color by numbers franchises at this point. Like, okay, we get it. Marvel is successful, but not everything should necessarily be Marvel. I don't know. Like I'm gonna stand by my thumbs up to this trailer, but I feel like there's a larger conversation to be had about, as some other people on the internet have pointed out in recent years, the oversaturation point that we seem to be sort of transitioning towards of superhero content. And I really don't want us to hit that before we're due. I really want to see Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I really want those movies to be good. I really want to see how that works out. But anyway, man, I don't know. What do y'all think? Like, feel free to drop a comment in the live chat or in the comments down below, and I might have to read it off on the air. But let's move on to the next topic here. We have 3 left, and then we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. So next up, we have another thing from Prime Video. This is a remake of A League of Their Own. This is a very famous movie from the 90s, from the early 90s. Something to do with the revelation that there is no actual crying in baseball, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong there, but anyway, let's see what Amazon has to say about it. First of all, just a reminder that Samaritan's hitting Amazon Prime on August 26th. And A League of Their Own, this is going to be hitting Prime as well, a few days earlier on August 12th. Next month. Both of these are hitting next month. So here's A League of Their Own.
There's another one on Tuesday.
Tuesday's too late, sir.
Do not approach the train.
Let it happen. I'm in.
Ticket, please.
About that. Hey, you. You're clearly going to tryouts.
She doesn't look like that much competition.
I could be competition, I think.
We're here for the tryouts.
I don't think you understand. This is the All-American League.
We're pretty all-American.
Who was that?
Showing that knuckleball.
They didn't even let me try out, Dad.
Maxine, you've got to make some smarter choices.
This is fun.
This is something I can work with.
Teachers, I'd like to go through a few rules. Curfew is at 10 p.m. sharp. No smoking or drinking. No pants.
What? I'm a pitcher, and you need me.
Is that so? Everybody on the team has to have a job at the factory.
So any job?
Max,
Good song
you
choice.
lift 50 pounds, and are you willing to get the shit burned out of your hands?
Yes, and I guess so.
Great.
If you want the game to be more exciting, shorten the skirts.
What the hell are you doing?
Thought that you would catch it.
My back turned?
This is our one shot.
So what if right here, right now, we forget the rules?
They don't get to decide if this is real or not. We do.
Let's go!
Things are changing pretty fast.
Hey, Dollface.
Oh, that was good. Notice how she did not have her back turned to catch that ball. That was a really good trailer. So this is clearly sort of trying to be like, in a certain sense, like the sports world's version of like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I guess. You know, it's a period film that sort of underscores a lot of the expectations and prejudices of, in this case, female athletes entering a predominantly male-dominated sport. This is I'm trying to remember the time period that the movie took place in, because that came out in, like, I want to say 91, maybe 92. I don't remember the exact year that thing came out. That was Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell. I'm trying to remember who else was in that movie. Shoot, it's not coming to me right now. If anyone wants to comment on that in the comment feed down below, feel free. But this actually looks interesting. And I don't normally do period productions, basically, with certain very rare exceptions. I did like 42. And that was only pretty much like after I did some reading on that, you know, above and beyond the trailer, to sort of understand how they were treating the source material. And it's man, you had to do Jackie Robinson's story just right. You know, you pretty much had to. And this is one of those things that, you know, they pretty much have to do just right in order to really sort of, like, in order to make sure that this new production stands apart from the movie in a way that discourages direct comparisons, because they're sharing the same title. A lot of that is going to be inevitable. But how do you stand apart when you're remaking anything that's being remade? And now more than ever, a lot of stuff gets remade, even when it's completely unnecessary to do so. How do you do a remake in a way that allows it to form its own identity, to find its own voice, and sort of, best case scenario, use the prior material, the movie, or like wherever it was adapted from, as a springboard to go in a new and unexpected direction, as opposed to basically being a shell of the IP's a shadow of the IP's former self, and the audience can detect it. That's the worst case scenario, because the audience knows that they're being presented something that has no business existing, is too reliant on the source material, is utterly predictable, and the audience feels like their time is being completely wasted. I don't want that for this. I want this show to work. I'm going to hope that it works. I'm going to give this, I want this to work, but I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll give this trailer a thumbs up for now. I may have to circle back on this and maybe do like a reaction or something to this after the first episode comes out on August 12th to Amazon Prime Video, and we'll see if this particular production is able to actually steal home, I guess is the only real way to put it, basically. But let's move on to another streaming production that's about to hit really soon. This is Pinocchio. We did a Pinocchio trailer a couple weeks ago, but that was for the Disney Plus production. This is very much not Disney Plus, what we're about to do here. This is a Netflix thing. And this is Guillermo del Toro. That's the guy who gave us the Hellboy movies, Pan's Labyrinth. I'm trying to remember. I think he had something to do with The Shape of Water as well. I think. I'm not sure on that 100%, but feel free to correct me on that. I'm open to being proven wrong. But I know he directed the Hellboy movies. I do know that much. But anyway, this looks like Netflix is trying to capitalize on the Pinocchio remake fever that we're getting. Obviously, the Disney Plus version, we've got Tom Hanks in that one. This one, it looks to be taking what looks like a more sort of hyper-realistic version of what the Pinocchio story would be like, as opposed to just basically making a CGI version of the character design that we know from the original cartoon that's older than my mom, quite frankly. Like, this is, you know, how do we sort of like forge a new identity for this IP? You know, this is like I don't want this trailer to be bad. I don't want this trailer to be bad. The thumbnail looks like it might be bad, though. I really hope it's not. I'm going to play it. Here's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio from Netflix. Let's take a look. I hope it's not bad. It's stop motion. Oh, boy.
From my many wanderings on this earth, I had so much to say about imperfect fathers and imperfect sons.
Wow, you're just going to straight up
and
show
about
us.
Loss and love. I've learned that there are old spirits who rarely involve themselves in the human world.
He's in
But on
mourning.
occasion,
You're
they
explaining
do.
the origin of the idea. Okay.
I want to tell you a story. It's a story you may think you know, but you don't. A story of the wooden boy.
Where am I?
I feel as though you've been here before. The wooden boy with the borrowed soul.
Oh,
be his son. Fill his days with
I mean, I'm
light.
just guessing. Oh,
We shall call you
Very
Pinocchio.
Oh, what a day, what a day.
Wow. Okay. So, Guillermo del Toro doing Pinocchio. Like, I did not see this coming. I would not have seen this coming. This is one of those productions that I don't know how else to put it. Like, this is one of those things that on paper, it shouldn't work. I didn't expect them to go ahead and to steer that far into the idea of, from Geppetto's perspective, the father, right? This is the Pinocchio's creator's perspective. This really feels like they're trying to go into a new direction with this, as opposed to, we all know the Disney version is going to follow the puppet. It feels like more of the story emphasis for this version is going to focus more on Geppetto and like where the idea for Pinocchio came from and his relationship to the puppet once the puppet comes to life. And how does this father in mourning deal with this, what has just happened here? That's actually on paper at least, that's actually a fascinating angle with which to approach this story. You know, it's got a lot more emphasis on that part of it than, to my recollection, the Disney version ever had. And I'm getting serious James and the Giant Peach vibes from this particular animation style. This is clearly some subtle elements of CGI on top of. This is either deliberate. This is either CGI, 100% CGI, deliberately designed to look like stop motion, or this is stop motion with some slight CGI enhancements. But you know, either way, I'm intrigued by, like I said, the choice of story direction and the animation style that they're going with here, and just how far they seem to be willing to go to distance themselves from Disney's interpretation of this franchise, which is going to be very important given that both versions of this are coming out right around the same time. The Disney version is going to be dropping 2 months earlier. So this movie really has its work cut out for him, quite frankly. I'm going to give this trailer a thumbs up. I'm going to give Del Toro's Pinocchio on Netflix a thumbs up, definitely. Because this is one of those things that it has absolutely everything to prove, but so far from what I've seen, it looks like they're on the right path. I was very apprehensive at first in the beginning, you remember. I was really nervous about this, you know, because like I didn't trust the character designs, but like I'm pretty sure this is going in a good direction. We will see how this stacks up to the Disney remake when that drops, once both of these are out, which the Del Toro Pinocchio movie is going to be hitting Netflix in November, or excuse me, it's going to be hitting theaters in November, and it's going to be going directly to Netflix in December. That's all we know right now. More concrete release dates have not yet been unveiled to the public. We're definitely going to go ahead and keep an eye out for more information about that as we go along. So next, we have comments also from Stab ZX. Again, you should check out Pinocchio, Emperor of the Night. It's a dark children's film with James Earl Jones in the voice of Steve from American Dad. Steve from American Dad. That's Scott Grimes. Is that Scott Grimes? I think that's his name. He was in the last season or last couple seasons of ER as well. And the Orville. He's also really amazing on the Orville. But yeah, that's cool. Thanks for the info on that, Steph. Appreciate it. Let's move on. Next, actually, here's one more comment first. Excuse me. The concept of the film was like Astro Boy, only that had a scientist as Geppetto who makes a robot to replace his dead son. Yeah, I'm familiar with the work of Osamu Tezuka. That my first exposure to that was like 2003, the 2003 anime version. And I saw bits and pieces of the movie version, the Freddie Highmore version that came out in, I want to say 2006, maybe 2007 was when that movie dropped. The anime version from 03 only lasted like one season, maybe two, I think. But the movie version, I don't know, I like the anime more. I don't know, maybe it was because like that was just my first exposure to that. But yeah, I prefer the anime over the CGI movie of Astro Boy. But anyway, that's all that can be said about this. Like I said, Pinocchio is hitting theaters in November of this year, and it will be dropping on Netflix the following month. So there you go. And we have one last one to go, and then we can go ahead and shut this down. Scott Grimes, thanks, Scott, for confirming my suspicions there. We're down to the last trailer right now. This is the last one from Netflix. By the way, once again, thanks so much for watching our live trailer reaction show right here on YouTube at Weekend Showcase. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscription button and the notification bell as well while you're at it. And we can go ahead and get you set up to get notifications in real time once we get our streams up and running here, and you can be among the first to join and comment and participate in the discussion, right? And don't forget, if you hit us up with a comment in the chat or in the comment feed after the fact, we might incorporate your feedback into the next show. So let's go ahead and move on. Next item is, like I was saying, from Netflix. This is the trailer for a project called Me Time. This looks like Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg smuggling a turtle out of a theme park, maybe, or like, I don't know. Some sort of rally race sort of environment. I don't know. It's hard to really determine accurately what on earth this project is by that particular thumbnail choice, but I guess that's why we have trailers. So here's Me Time from Netflix.
I love you.
I love you, dude.
Sonny, you have no life outside of your kids.
Well, my wife is an architect. We made a decision that's best for me to take care of the kids.
It's called a system which works. Yeah, prison system. That's what it sounds like.
What's up, Hawk?
Baby! My birthday's coming up. You haven't been to one of my parties forever.
You guys were so close, and then I grew up. I don't want to spend a weekend with Huck and a bunch of 22-year-olds.
I have an idea. I should take Dash and Ava for spring break by myself.
You've never traveled with them without me.
I am their mother. I will be fine.
Honestly, I have concerns.
Did you hear me? No. Dash, get your stuff.
Okay.
Let's go. Every parent's dream is to spend a week without their family.
I get some me time. Me time.
How was your first day of freedom?
It was great. I played golf with some old buddies of mine. I went to this underground barbecue spot.
You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Oh!
You should go to Huck's party.
Sonny, baby!
Happy birthday!
Thank you, brother.
You look good. Hey, whoa.
Hey, guys! Say hi to my oldest friend in the world!
Yeah. You want a towel?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Wow.
This week isn't about me. It's about us.
Okay.
In the majestic California! Oh! It's our own Burning Man.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
Where the porta potties at? Right there.
That's a bucket.
Yeah, they were great.
Party over here. A party over here. Buddy. Oh, you a little scary kitty.
Uh-oh, where's the mom? Yep, I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, sit down.
Oh, no, don't do that. Yep, we're good. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh,
You a brand new man?
she might be the big cat.
This is the big dog. I'm the big dog. Hell yeah, he's not okay.
He's out.
Okay, good. Like Butch and Sundance just got back together.
Oh my God!
Way to make the most of your me time, huh?
I don't know what happened, but you're a new man.
I did a lot of stuff I'm not proud of.
Oh my God! It looks like a hot Cheeto.
What is going on? It's Huck. He's always got me doing stupid shit.
We gotta do this together.
It's always something crazy. I just feel like this is too much. I'll see you later.
Oh, God. I could never do that.
Open your arms like a starfish. Starfish can't fly. I told you could do it.
I love you, Huck.
I love you, starfish.
Let me say.
That's crazy. I could never. I want to see that again. I want to see that last part again.
Oh my God! It looks like a hot Cheeto.
What is going on?
It's Huck. He's always got me doing stupid shit.
We gotta do this together.
It's always something crazy. I just feel like this is too much. I'll see you later.
Sonny, do it. Open your arms like a starfish.
Scarface came back! I told you could do it! I love you, Huck!
That's crazy. Okay. I can't imagine ever doing that. I know like there are people who do that sort of thing, skydiving, wingsuit using, that sort of thing. Braver souls than I could never see myself doing that mess. That's craziness right there. I don't know. Oh my goodness. This is one of those movies that at first this struck me as almost like Home Alone for adults, sort of, like in the beginning, right? And then it sort of veers off into this sort of weird, like road trip sort of thing. I mean, at what point do sort of road trip comedies sort of go into the area of just excessive, unnecessary, gross out humor for the sake of itself? You know, like it's still a good comedy if I'm actually like asking this, like those of you at home who are watching this, like, is it still genuinely funny if the majority of the jokes that are being used don't really serve the plot necessarily, and they're funny because they're bizarre or they're funny because they're shocking? You know, it doesn't really sort of accentuate anything about a character in particular. It doesn't really bring anything new to the table that advances a plot. It's just basically to sort of catch the audience off guard and just sort of rubberneck as you go past, you know, to go to the next sort of story beat on the trajectory of the movie. You know, it's just a thing to like, wow, holy crap, can you believe that happened? Anyway, let's move on. You know, I don't know. We have MB here in the comments feed saying looks fun. Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. You know what? I'll be a little generous with this one. I'll say a side thumb for this. From me personally, I'll give it a side thumb because this is one of those movies that like me 15 years ago would have loved to see, you know, but I don't know. This movie doesn't really quite hit me the way that it used to when I was at that age of, like, you know, early 20s, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I imagine if this is your cup of tea though, like, hey, like, feel free, shoot a comment, like, prove me wrong. Like, why do you feel this would be a fun movie? This would be a really good film, or was a good movie? Like, maybe we should revisit this after this movie drops in, let's see, where is it? Hitting Netflix on August 26th. So there you go. It's going to be hitting, Me Time is going to be hitting Netflix on August 26th. Shoot us a comment after it comes out, like, or a DM or a comment, or sorry, not a DM, comment on our YouTube page or on our Instagram or Twitter at Weekend Showcase. Hit us up, like, with a comment on that. Like, what did you think of this movie? You know, I'm, like I always say, I'm open to be proven wrong, you know, and I'll check it out from, like, the curiosity sort of standpoint of it, but I gotta stand by the side thumb on that. And that's pretty much all I can say about it, basically, until the movie is actually out. So there you go. Anyway, so this brings us to a close, basically, for our trailer reaction show for Friday, July 29th, 2022. What was your favorite? Whoops, hang on 1 second. I'm sorry. There we go. All right. So anyway, what was your favorite trailer for the night? I had a couple of favorites. I'll be honest, I had a couple of favorites tonight. I liked the Black Panther one. I liked the Chucky trailer. That was really good tonight. I was also really impressed by Pinocchio. I was really unexpectedly impressed by Pinocchio. I'm gonna have to give favorite trailer of the night. However, it's a difficult one. You know what? I'm gonna go in a different direction tonight. I'm gonna give my favorite trailer of the night to Pinocchio. I'm gonna give favorite trailer to Pinocchio. Yes, over Black Panther. You heard right. And here's why. I pretty much knew what I was going to be getting from Black Panther. You know, in terms of the trailer that we saw tonight. I knew that this was going to be emotional. I knew that it was going to be intense. and there had to be a Chadwick homage in there somewhere for obvious reasons, and it had to hype me up for the film, which it did. That trailer really did its job, but I wasn't really genuinely surprised by it. I was surprised by the angle with which the Pinocchio trailer chose to attack the source material, especially given that Disney's coming out with a competing version of that exact movie 2 months prior. The stones that it took for Guillermo del Toro and Netflix to make almost the exact same movie at the exact same time in a completely opposite direction, you know, it's that surprised me. That put me on the back foot, and I'm actually more hyped in terms of like streaming. I'm more looking forward to watching Pinocchio on Netflix than I am to inevitably seeing Wakanda Forever again, because I will be seeing that in theaters once that movie hits Disney Plus. And it just boils down to the unpredictability factor that I was talking about off and on all night. You know, you want to catch the audience off guard, and the only real relatable, believable way to do that is to take something familiar and do something new and unexpected with it. You know, audiences want new. If you're going to do something old, you have to do it in a convincingly new way. You know, and those are gems. They exist. They're rare, but they exist. And it's reassuring to actually come across content like that these days. It really is. MB commenting says, favorite trailer was Black Panther. Yeah, I hear you there. I mean, it's a close second, but I gotta stand by my favorite was Pinocchio. But thank you for the comment. I definitely agree with you. That was an excellent trailer. What were your favorite trailers of the night? Those of you who are watching this stream after the fact, please feel free to drop a comment down below to continue the convo. Thanks so much for tuning in and bearing with me with the technical difficulties again. We'll get the hang of this. And we will see you right here once again this coming Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific for a brand new weird news show. I hope to see you then. For now, my name is Don. Thanks for watching and spending some time with me tonight. Hope you have a great weekend. Showcase you later. Good night.